Hello, my name is Steve and I'm with Graphic&Design. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create this kind of pencil effect using Affinity Photo. For this tutorial, I'm using Affinity Photo 1.8.4 and this is my first tutorial on Affinity Photo. So if you would like to see more tutorials on Affinity Photo as in Affinity Designer, please let me know in the comments down below. This applies to any picture. This picture that I have in here basically is a free picture that I took from Pixabay. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to open the picture. I already got it in there. Then I'm going to right click and I'm going to rasterize. So I created as a pixel. You can choose any picture, will do the trick. For this one, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit Command J to duplicate and then Command I to invert, and I'm going to change the blending mode to color dodge. And as you can see now, everything is completely white. If we want to see the actual picture and how we are going to start doing this, is the first thing we are going to add a blur, a Gaussian blur. I'm going to click preserve alpha and I'm going to give it like a 30 something pixels, something like 35, somewhere there. As soon as you start seeing the image and you start seeing the lines, now we have our picture, but as you can see is actually not really what we want, so we need to start doing some other stuff. So the first thing that I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some noise first of all, and I'm going to change it to uniform, and I'm going to give it something like, not too much, but something like a 70%. You will see, because when you draw on paper or you draw in those sketch pages, they have kind of like a grain actually. So what I'm trying to get is that kind of grain. Okay. Now, what we need to do is, obviously, because it's a pencil, we need to change it to black and white. For that, let's choose huge saturation and luminosity, and we are going to bring the saturation all the way down. But it doesn't look exactly as we want. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to click on the Gaussian blur and I'm coming here to my brush tool and I'm going to choose my brush. I'm going to choose something like this, just basic one. And if you want to change the size and the hardness of the brush, hold Control Alt, click. And if you drag on the sides to the sides, you change the width. And if you move the mouse up and down, you change the hardness. So I'm going to put it hardness 0. The other thing that I'm going to change is the opacity, the flow. I'm going to put it like a 20, something like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start first. Let me get the noise out. And let's keep that one. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start painting on the sides to eliminate not everything, just leave like a halo around the picture. Okay. For this, I'm using a tablet at the moment, so it's easy if you actually use a tablet, but you can do it with the mouse. It's not really a big deal. It's just only to give it like a touch. And then also internally or inside the picture, I'm going to start dragging a little bit, just only to bring down a few parts. For example, in the eye, this one I'm going to leave it there. something like this. So you get the drill how to make it a little bit to look like it's actually pencil. So let me delete that as well. I'm going to delete all that. Again, if you want to make it bigger, if you want to make it smaller. Perfect. So we have this one in there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch on the noise and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So what I'm going to do is let's remember to switch your pen to your brush to black. So I'm going to do exactly the same with the noise. And obviously, for example, here, let me make it a little bit smaller there. In the face, for example, I'm taking that noise out of there because that's supposed to be completely white, the paper. So leave it more or less in the places that are they should be darker. Okay, and let me do something like this. Something like this. A little bit there. If you want to give another touch, you can use, for example, the smudge. And for example, in the eyes or in here, in the nose, the part that defines the nose, the part that defines the lips, things like that. Let me change to this one and let me delete in there. Let me make it bigger there. If you have a graphic tablet, it makes your life way more easy, by the way. Eh? Anyway, it's important to use a flow of very low. Even you can go lower if you want, because in that way you have more control, because you need more passes to the effect actually to be noticed. So you have more control of what you are doing. Okay, now that we have that one and it looks fine, something that happened is if you see the thread or when you use your pencil, is actually there is lines that are thicker or more pronounced the other ones. So to give that effect, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use unsharp mask. And I'm going to increase the radius something like 30 something. You can see how now start getting sharper and it's like strokes with your pencil. Let's increase the factor a little bit and let's move the threshold up. I think it's something there is fine. I think the radius is too high. Let me bring it down. You need to play around with these values until you have something that you actually like. And we are almost done. Maybe what I can do is to put a mask and give it some blur to other parts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a mask. I'm going to, we need the mask for the unsharpener. Let me see, Command I to invert the mask. And if we paint, we need to change it for white. And actually you can control how much sharpening you are actually applying to your drawing. Okay, I think it is fine like that. I like it. This is up to you how you get all the rest of the, if you want to keep on going and adding more layers, but I think for me is fine like that. Now, something that is Command G. And what I'm going to do is, I got a mockup that I've downloaded from Graphic Burger. I'm going to put the link in the description down below. I got this one in here. So let me take this one and this group. Let me delete that one. So what I'm going to do is, coming back to my drawing, I'm going to right click. I'm going to copy this one, coming to the embedded one, I'm going to Command B, and so I'm going to put it underneath that one, and then we can actually move it, something like this, and something like that. I think it's fine. Perfect. Now if we go to our mockup, basically that is how you can present your work. Okay, I think this is for my first tutorial in Affinity Photo. Let me know if you like it. Please share, comment, give the thumbs up, and like always, thank you. First of all, before I go, thank you very much for my at this point, I think it's 797 subscribers. Thank you very much to all of you who subscribe to my channel. You really makes this channel keep on going. Thank you for all your comments. I really appreciate all the support of everybody in this community. And anyway, thank you very much. Remember to subscribe, to like, to share. Leave any comments in the section down below. And like always, I'm seeing you in the next video.